When I think about the director Paul Verhoeven, what really stands out to me is that he's very much into satire. You look at Total Recall, Robocop, and Starship Troopers they did back in the 90s. You can see what I mean there, because you look at the original Robocop, there's social and political commentary in the film, along with the fact that it's a dark satire of the militarization of police, corporate greed, society as a whole losing its humanity, and then you have all these little commercials that are in the movie. That's where a lot of the commentary and satire comes from. It's I really appreciate that in the case of RoboCop, Paul Verhoeven is like, I'm not going to hit people over the head with the commentary and satire. I'm going to trust the audience to be smart enough to catch on to the undertones in the movie. Then you look at Starship Troopers, and that movie clearly comes from Paul Verhoeven with the menus that are in the movie. There's a distinct style to Starship Troopers, and there's also clearly satire in that movie as well about the military over about the military patriotism, things like that. And then you look at Total Recall, and I think it's fair to say there's satire in that movie as well. That's about messing with people's mind. I mean, that's the big thing that comes to mind right away. That movie's based on a short story from Philip K. Dick. There's definitely a weirdness to that movie for sure, because you have a lady in there with free tits. So I think it's pretty interesting that Paul Verhoeven was really into satire. I'm not sure off the top of my head what other movies he's really done besides those three that I was just talking about, but that's the thing that really stands out to me about this guy. He very much is what you could call the master of satire. Therefore, you saw that in quite a good amount of his movies. I think one of the big reasons why the Total Recall and Robocop remakes were not received as well is because they just lacked that Paul Verhoeven style, that biting satire. And if they felt tame, restrained in comparison. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Robocop remake does have satire in it, to be sure. But the original Robocop is so distinctly Paul Verhoeven that I think that it's one of the big reasons why the Robocop remake wasn't received very well. So that is something that I think is pretty interesting. That Paul Verhoeven stands out as a director for that reason.